The map operator transforms values emitted from a source observable based on a provided projection function. This is similar to array.map, except we are operating on each value emitted from an observable rather than each value contained within an array. To see how this works, let's start by creating an observable that emits 5 numbers. To do this, we can use the of operator. Like other creation operators, of can be imported from the base rxjs folder. Of accepts any number of values and then loops through, emitting each of them. For now, I'm just going to provide 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and let's go ahead and subscribe to see how this looks. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is printed to the console. So instead of just the base values, what we actually want is the value multiplied by 10. And to handle this, we could use the map operator. Let's go ahead and import map now. Remember, all non-creation or static operators, or operators that will be contained within the pipe function, can be imported from rxjs/operators. To add operators to the stream, we'll use the pipe method. The pipe method glues your operators together. You can think of each operator contained within pipe as stops on an assembly line, from the source to the destination. In this case, we'll just be using map, but in future lessons we'll see how we can compose multiple operators within the pipe function. Map accepts a function which receives each value emitted from the source and emits the result of applying that function. In this case, it's just the value multiplied by 10. When we save, we can see instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 now, we have 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. While this is interesting to check out the behavior, we normally won't be operating on a list of static values like this. Let's check out how this may work on an event stream instead. To do this, we're first going to import the fromEvent creation operator from rxjs. Next, let's create a constant and we'll call it keyUp, which is going to represent our stream of keyUp events. fromEvent accepts a target, which for now, we're just going to use the entire document, and the event you wish to create a stream from, which is going to be the keyUp event. Let's pause here for a second and subscribe to our keyUp stream to make sure everything's working. And as we can see, anytime I press down on the keyboard, a new event is logged. So imagine if instead of the entire keyboard event, we really just want a stream of key codes. Maybe we're listening for a particular key. To do this, we could utilize the map operator and map to that particular property on our keyboard event. Let's go ahead and create a variable which will hold our new stream of key codes. Next, we'll call the pipe method on our keyUp observable, providing the map operator. Remember, operators accept an observable, which is the source, and return a new observable. They do not modify the source observable in any way, meaning that creating our new key code stream from our keyUp observable does not have any impact on our keyUp observable. This creates one of the most powerful behaviors in rxjs, which is composing streams of other streams. Now, let's add our map operator, and for every event, we're going to return our event code. This gives us our key code stream. Let's swap out our subscription down here and instead subscribe to our key code stream. Now, instead of the entire event, we'll actually just see the code being logged to the console. Now, one thing you'll hear a lot when you start reading about rxjs is the enormous number of operators, or how it can be hard to pick the right operator for the right situation. And while there are quite a few operators, you'll notice after a while that many are just helpers for or composed of other operators. Throughout this course, I'm going to try to point out these similarities and show when a different operator could be used to solve the same problem. For instance, in our map example above, we really just want to grab one property from the event. While map works perfectly fine, we could also use pluck. First, let's import pluck from rxjs operators. Now we can go ahead and copy and paste our key code stream, and we'll just call this key code with pluck. Next, we can swap out map with pluck, which accepts a string or the property name to pull from the object. For this case, it'll just be the code. Finally, let's subscribe to our key code with pluck stream and make sure the behavior is the same. And we can see we still have the same stream of event codes like we had before. I also want to point out that while not used as often, you can pull from nested properties using pluck as well. So for instance, say we want the target and we want the node name off that target, we can supply both of these values to pluck. Now, anytime I press down, I'll receive the node name, which in this case is the body. Let's go ahead and undo this so we just have the code again. The last thing I want to touch on is the scenario where you always want to map to a specific value, no matter the emission from the source. And while this may sound strange, it does come up from time to time. To model this behavior, let's create a new observable and we'll call it pressed. We'll use our key upstream, but instead of using map or pluck, we'll use the map2 operator. Let's add this to our r16 operators import above. Map2 takes a value, and anytime the source observable emits, it always emits that same value. For this case, we're just going to say key pressed. And let's subscribe to our press stream rather than our key code with pluck stream. Anytime we press a key now, we'll always see key pressed log. In conclusion, map allows you to transform a stream of values using a projection function. Whether it's mapping to a key code, value updates from an input box, or reshaping an object, this will be one of the most used operators in your day-to-day toolbox. It will also show up in many more examples in labs moving forward.